let's review the Mighty Pin puzzle. All right, that was stupid. I'm gonna cut that. That's not gonna be used.
Okay, Mighty Pin by Alan Lunsford. The objective of the puzzle is to free the coin using the tools you find along the way. It's classified as a sequential discovery puzzle. It's also 3D printed out of PLA material, and Alan actually manufactures and distributes the puzzle himself on his website, Layer by Layer Puzzles via Etsy. So on there you will see he has other puzzles for sale like Hive Mind and Bolt Action when they're in stock. And you'll see, like here in the reviews, that typically an instruction card is provided with the puzzle. So that helps identify, illegal moves to help ensure you don't break the puzzle while you're solving it. So it's multiple step sequential discovery puzzle that's planned to be released July 16th at the moment. So we're a little 2 months ahead of the planned release date. And again, it's the third installment of the coin series puzzles, with the first being Unsafe Deposit and the second being Bolt Action. Right now, I don't think Alan has planned any more coin puzzles for this series, but it's not confirmed yet. So we may have a fourth one sometime down the road. So let's jump into the spoiler-free review. So this is based on my own rating scale, which I'm working on the acronym for. But I typically tend to be a little bit harsher and give every puzzle 5 out of 5, because if every puzzle was amazing, then no puzzle really stands out. So the puzzle design, I'll give a 4 out of 5. It's a nice mix of moves. It's definitely harder than Unsafe Deposit, I would say. But the difficulty of moves, now it's kind of solved along the way. It makes it a great puzzle for not just experienced puzzlers, but newcomers as well. So it's one of those puzzles that I could hand to a friend that's not familiar with puzzling. I think they'd really enjoy tinkering with it and trying to solve it. But it's not quite as involved or challenging as Bolt Action, in my opinion. For the puzzle and artistry and physical design, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. In general, 3D printed puzzles or plastic puzzles are criminally underrated compared to wood and metal. It's really challenging to actually create a well put together 3D printed or plastic puzzle. But at the same time, this 3D printed puzzle, or some of them in general, you're not going to be displaying on your front mantle for people to see. It doesn't grab people's attention. It's not quite as aesthetically intricate as some other wood puzzles that you find. But that's not the point of the puzzle. The puzzle itself isn't focused on looks. It's focused on the solve and the detailed minutia of the internals of the puzzle, which really makes it affordable, which is great for anyone that's looking on a budget. Again, newcomers or experienced, so it's definitely one of those must-haves, a part of your puzzle collection. Regarding the difficulty, on a scale from 1 to 6, very easy to impossible, I definitely would give this puzzle a solid 3. There's definitely some challenges along the way when you're solving this, but it's nothing too difficult that I think you'd be stuck on this for weeks. So it's definitely not a hard puzzle, but it's a really good balance between not being too easy to where it's not fun, but then being too challenging where you're spinning your wheels on it. So I classify it as a medium puzzle. So overall, the difficult rating, medium, with overall rating of 4 out of 5. And before I jump into the spoiler portion next, my copy of Mighty Pin that you saw earlier, I'm actually going to be giving away. So in order to enter the giveaway and a chance to win Mighty Pin, you need to be subscribed to my channel and leave a comment below on this video that you want to be entered for the drawing. I'm going to try and do this drawing roughly in about 2 to 3 weeks. I'll be following up with a video of Bolt Action. I'll be giving away another puzzle by Alan at that time. So make sure to subscribe and comment below for a chance to win. And with that, turn off if you don't want to see the spoiler portion of this video. Okay, solving the Mighty Pin puzzle. So first we move the screw here off to the side. And when we do, you'll notice that a pin from up here drops down. That allows us to move this. So we'll get that pin out. And now this can only move side to side. So we'll go ahead and put this screw here. There's a button that drops the quarter. Okay, now that allows it to move side and down. That exposes another hole here. So we're going to take this pin and put it in that hole. Then we're going to put this in its original state and turn it upside down. And that pin now drops into here. And what that does is with the screw we could push it, and that opens up a door for the second pin. So now turn it upside down. Gotta get the pin to fall back in there. Okay, so now we have both pins here. Now this next order is important. So what you want to do is you want to put the small pin in first. You want to make sure it's all the way down, followed by the large pin. Now the easiest way to get this to move is when you put this in, this is going to want to shift back up. So you want to compress it until that large pin is gone even further. And then you can shift it up all the way over, and there we go. So it's really fascinating mechanisms behind it here, and I love how when these two halves, you kind of first think you have to kind of maybe pop it off or disassemble it. So I wasn't expecting the lateral movements like that. It's really fascinating, and you can see here how it, you know, shifts back and forth. So this pin here, you know, it's not just a simple compress it, because if you put in the large pin first to compress it, it won't work. So what you do is you actually push this small pin in all the way. So when it gets back to the starting point, it pushes up here, and that's about flush with this edge here, and allows the pin to be compressed and moved out to separate the two halves. So assembly works in just the opposite way. So you got to be careful, because otherwise you can, you know, get it stuck here. So, you know, you want to make sure that the dovetails so keep the two halves line up with the diamond here. So I'm going to put this back into that portion there. You want to compress this with your thumb, push that in, and there we go. That small pin back in there, flip it upside down, compress this portion with the screw to allow this large bolt to go back in, flip it upside down, get the pin to fall back down. Okay, get this back over, the small pin back in that area. And at this point, I'll use the screw to flip the coin over, and then flip it upside down to get that pin to fall into that hole there, and screw this together, and we are reset. So I really like the mechanisms behind it. It's a great puzzle. You know, I think, you know, 3D printed puzzles, you know, don't get enough love. It's a lot of fun, again, especially for, you know, newcomers as well as experienced puzzlers. So that's the assembly and disassembly or solution to the Mighty Pin puzzle.